Before we jump into the episode today, I want to share something with you from my heart. First of all, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I really can't tell you how much your support means to me. We've been doing the podcast now for almost 4 years. I can't even believe it. And I'm so grateful for each and every single one of you that listens, shares an episode with your friends, sends me a DM or a text message letting me know how an episode resonated with you or any aha moments. Seriously, I couldn't be more grateful to be able to create this podcast. It has been such a blessing in my life, and I love hearing the ways it's been able to provide value in yours as well. One thing you might not know is how much work it takes to be consistent with a podcast. In fact, did you know that the majority of podcasts don't make it past episode number 10? And we are well beyond that. And it's just a lot thinking of the episodes, recording them, editing them, managing the guests, making sure that everything runs smoothly and gets uploaded consistently and regularly. And so that's why I have created an amazing opportunity for you to support the podcast monetarily. And in exchange for that, you will get exclusive premium subscriber content. So for as little as $3 a month, you can become a premium subscriber of the podcast. And every month I will upload new voice-guided workouts and breathwork meditation audio for you. So that way you can work out with me, coaching you in your ears. You can also take a moment to reduce your stress and relax and come down and ground down with one of my breathwork audios. So if that is on your heart to support the podcast for as little as $3 a month to become a premium podcast subscriber, I can't tell you how much that means to me and the growth of this podcast. I appreciate you. If you're interested, click the link in the description, become a premium podcast subscriber, new content every month, and while supplies last, I'll send you an exclusive podcast coffee mug so you can have your self-love and sweat coffee every morning. I appreciate you. Now let's get into the show. Welcome to Self-Love and Sweat, the podcast, the place where you'll get inspired to live your life unapologetically, embrace your perfect imperfections, break down barriers, and do what sets your soul on fire. I'm your host, Lunden Souza. Hey, have you grabbed your free Self-Love and Sweat monthly calendar yet? This calendar is so amazing. It comes right in your inbox every single month to help you have a little nugget of wisdom, a sweaty workout, a mindset activity, just a little something to help keep you focused and motivated and keep that momentum towards your goals. So every day when you get this calendar, you'll see a link that you can click that will lead to a podcast episode or a workout or something that will be very powerful and quick to read. And then you'll also see on the top left corner of every single day, there's a little checkbox in the calendar. And what that is that's for your one thing. You can choose one thing every month, or it can be the same, something that you want to implement, and make this something that you can easily implement, like daily meditation or getting a certain amount of steps or water, for example, and staying hydrated, and even taking your supplements. This can be something if you want to get more regular doing a particular habit and routine, you can choose what that checkbox means. So if you want your Self-Love and Sweat free monthly calendar delivered right to your inbox every month on the first of the month, go to lifelikeLondon.com/calendar, fill out the form really quickly, and you will have your calendar in your inbox within a few short minutes. That's lifelikeLondon, lifelikeLondon.com/calendar. Go get yours for free and enjoy this episode. Happy today and welcome back to the podcast. Today we have a quick mindset reset, quick episode just to help you gain a little bit more perspective, put a little bit more intention in your life. And this episode is just an opportunity for conscious communication and for saying something slightly different than maybe you would normally say it, or the way that, let's say, we would normally say things in the English language. Sometimes I just feel like we just say it that way because we say it that way. And in this episode, I want to offer a reframe, a way of saying something you probably say regularly, an opportunity to say it a little bit different. And so that is, I appreciate it versus I appreciate you. I made a reel on Instagram the other week just talking about, hey, let's celebrate the person and appreciate the person and not have it be about the action. So we can say like, thanks for doing that. I appreciate it, right? Or thank you. I appreciate you. So that we can normalize appreciating the person behind the action and acknowledging that that person deserves to be appreciated in that moment, whether or not they would have done the thing, right? So I think going out into the world and saying, I appreciate you is a great way to change your words just a little bit, get into some conscious communication vibes of just like, what happens when I switch this one word from it to you? And I don't specifically remember personally when I started saying I appreciate you instead of I appreciate it. I don't remember if I listened to a particular podcast or read a quote or whatever, but at some point I just decided to start saying I appreciate you instead of I appreciate it. And I have definitely noticed people's reactions to that. People smile a little bit more. They hold the eye contact for like half a second longer, it feels like, where it's just like that moment of connection of like, hey, I appreciate you. Whether it's a person at a gas station or who might hold the door for me or a hotel clerk or I don't know, just anybody that we come in contact with that we might be, crossing paths with, whether they're doing something for us or we're doing something for them. I just think it's really cool to acknowledge and say, I appreciate you instead of I appreciate it. And so I challenge you to go out into the world and try that and see what happens and see if you notice a difference in reaction in other people and also in yourself, right? What does it feel like for you to tell someone, I appreciate you? It's just kind of a one-word shift that can sometimes elicit a different nervous system response in ourselves and in others. And I made a quick mindset reset episode previously that was called Shine Where You Are, just as a reminder to be like, hey, let's see how we can offer kindness, acknowledge people, be a beacon of light right where we are, no matter what we might be going through, whether we're just, walking into a 7-Eleven or going to an event. How can you shine where you are? And I think that this word shift of saying, I appreciate you instead of I appreciate it can be a great way to shine where you are. It can be a great way just to hold that eye contact for a second longer. Hey, I appreciate you. And just, pronunciate it a little bit. Like, not like, I appreciate you. Bye, but like really taking that moment to connect with that person. Hey, thank you. I appreciate you. I think that when it's coupled sometimes with a physical gesture, like sometimes if it's appropriate, right? I'm not like reaching across the counter at a 7-Eleven to touch somebody, but like if it's warranted and it works, like just to put your hand on someone's shoulder or on their arm, or just like that moment to acknowledge, hey, I appreciate you, can go a long way as well. If that, kind of resonates and feels right for you. I think that everybody's way of conscious communication should feel right within them, a little bit of a stretch, but like feel congruent within you. So if you feel like it is the appropriate time to just touch someone on the shoulder in that process and saying, thank you, I appreciate you, and just kind of engaging more of the senses, a little kinesthetic touch, just, acknowledging the person in a new way, maybe that could be an opportunity for you to shine where you are a little bit more. Maybe that can be a way for the person to really understand, oh, they do appreciate me. They're saying it to me, and then they're also, touching me on my shoulder, which feels good and feels like connection. So today, go out into the world and find opportunities to say, I appreciate you instead of I appreciate it, so that we can get in the habit of acknowledging the person and their worthiness and enoughness to be appreciated. And using this as an opportunity to shine where you are. Like I did a whole quick mindset reset episode on before, but check that one out too. Just like, how can we be a little bit more kind with our language? How can we shift things just a little bit? Turn the knob just a little bit more in a connected direction and just like see what happens. Maybe people won't respond at all. They won't even hear you. They'll just be like in their own world. And maybe they will respond a little bit differently and just kind of feel a little bit more warm and fuzzy because you went out and, said, I appreciate you instead of I appreciate it. So that's it for today's quick mindset reset. Have a beautiful day wherever you are in this world, and we'll see you at the next episode. Bye. Hey, really quick, I want to interrupt the podcast for just a minute to tell you about one of my favorite supplements for hair, skin, nails, digestive, and gut health. And that is Snap Supplements Super Greens with Collagen. Now, if you're following me on social media, you've probably seen me post about this a bunch because honestly, this product tastes amazing and it's jam-packed with nutrients, like I said, to support healthy hair, skin, and nails. It helps support detoxification, a healthy immune system, and there's even probiotics in there for a healthy gut. It's non-GMO, no sugar added, soy-free, grass-fed collagen, and every scoop is going to give you 7 grams of protein. And this is why I love it, because it's not like a protein shake. It's just a scoop of powder. It tastes amazing. I put it in water, or if I want more hydration, I'll put it in coconut water and mix it up. And it's like having a nice, refreshing beverage that's packed with a bunch of super greens and protein. So what I'm super excited about is that for listening to the podcast, you'll get this discount here, nowhere else, but for listening to the podcast. You can save 25% off on all your Snap supplement purchases, including the Super Greens with Collagen. And you do that by using code LUNDEN25 at checkout. That's LUNDEN 25. LUNDEN 25 to get 25% off at checkout. You can shop on snapsupplements.com, or you can shop on my website, lifelikelondon.com/supplements. And you'll see there's already an additional 10% taken off. But you, because you're a podcast listener, you're going to get 25% off when you use the code LUNDEN25 at checkout. LUNDEN 25 at checkout to get your Snap Supplements, Super Greens, and Collagen, and all your Snap supplements for 25% off. Now, let's get back to the show. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Self-Love and Sweat, the podcast. Hey, do me a favor. Wherever you're listening to this podcast, give us a review. This really helps a lot. And share this with a friend. I'm only one person, and with your help, we can really spread the message of self-love and sweat and change more lives all around the world. I'm Lunden Souza, reminding you that you deserve a life full of passion, presence, and purpose, fueled by self-love and sweat. This podcast is a Hit Spot Austria production.